Hello. Okay, Arnold? No. The Olympia, Brazil is going on right now, and Muscle Contest has been so kind as to live stream it. So here's the stream, and let's see what's going on. So, forgive me. Number one, I keep clearing my throat because I was around some kids this week, and they just cough anywhere, and sometimes they just use their hands and they reach out and touch you, and it's so I'm coming down with a little bit of something, so please excuse that. And I know you will, because you guys are kind and altruistic people, so I know you will. So let's go over this first call out. I don't know everyone's names. I'm so sorry. I heard one person called Miriam. This is Miriam. And then this person looks like Nikita. It's not Nikita. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who it is. And then update, that person who was in that 5th place spot yesterday, her name is Gina. So Gina, I am so sorry. I know you're watching this, and your name is Gina, and you have a very memorable, beautiful physique. So I'm sorry I didn't know your name sooner. Okay, so the first call out. Here's the first call out. So a lot of these are familiar faces because two of them were in the top 15 of the Olympia, and one of them has won the Masters Olympia, Jessica Wilson, and then Reijuana placed 13th at the Olympia behind Vania last year. So last year Vania got 12th, Reijuana got 13th, and this year Alice got 15th at her first Olympia, and she's from Brazil, so it's really cool to get to see her do the Olympia last week, and then the Olympia Brazil this week. And Vania this year got 5th, so yeah, she, I think, was everyone's frontrunner to win this show, which is one of the reasons I didn't go over the list, because I was like, it seems kind of obvious, but whatever. So yeah, here's first call out, and Reijuana this year at the Olympia, she posted about how she was bummed with her physique because she was looking on point, and then when it came time to step on stage, she just lost it. I think her speculation is that stress got to her or something, but I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm not sure, but whatever the reason, she was bummed. And I was bummed too, because as you know, she was in my top 15. I'm a big Reijuana fan, because her physique is to die for. When I saw her step on stage today, all I could think of was the Addison Rae song that's called To Die For, which is like, you know that song. Anyway, here's the first call out. So this is the initial first call out, and then they move Miriam out and put Alice in, and then they move out this competitor right here and put Jessica in. So let's look at them fully posed. There they are. Ooh, there you go, Jessica. Yes. Okay. So who do I think is going to win today? I think it's going to be Vania, Alice. I would like it to be Reijuana, not because I don't love Jessica. I do love Jessica, but I think Reijuana fits the bill for bikini a little bit more, which I will go into. And then I think it'll be Jessica 4th, and then I'll have to look at this again to decide 5th and 6th. Anyway, so here we have Alice and Vania splitting center, and the reason I think Vania is going to be in this first place is because 1, she has incredible flow to her posing, and 2, I think she really is fitting that softness that they're looking for in bikini, but undeniable balance. She is incredibly balanced. You see right here, which we were talking about yesterday, with the hurricane. Her shoulder is falling directly in line with the top of that glute. See, she's standing straight up and looks totally natural, like she's just standing there. And her muscle looks very full. You're not seeing any striations. And yeah, I think that's why she'll be in first. And why do I think she'll be in first compared to Alice? Well, I think the difference here, and again, we're just going off the stream, and the lighting here is not, I wouldn't say it's as great. Usually in these shows, a lot of the shows in Brazil, I've noticed there's a lot of downlighting, and we'll really see that when they face the back. And the downlighting makes muscularity look a little bit extreme, not necessarily in a bad way, but like the glute ham tie area always seems to look a little more pronounced because the glutes are very lit up, and then they cast a shadow on the hamstrings. So yeah, we're just going off of the stream as usual. And the reason I'm thinking Alice is going to be in that second place is because she's a little bit harder. Not hard, but harder than Vania. She still has great balance. She's not fully posed here, but she still has great balance from top to bottom in her muscularity. And she's one that comes in a tiny bit leaner, in my opinion, again, just based on these streams. And I think I said this in the Olympia video. I think the reason for that is just because she needs a little more size. And you can only come in so full when you don't yet have all the muscularity you need. So Alice is a newer pro. She went pro in, I think, 21 or 22. So she is someone who still can grow into her physique. And the fact that she plays top 15, which maybe I said this in the Olympia video too, while not being muscular enough, really speaks to how fierce of a competitor she is. Plus, she beat Ashley Kay at a show this year, the one that qualified her for the Olympia. Okay, now let's talk about Reijuana. So Reijuana, I love her physique. She has very bubbly muscle, a ton of pop to her physique, and she also has that beautiful balance from top to bottom. Her stage presence is great. Hair and makeup all look great. That kind of goes without saying on this first call out. Everyone's hair and makeup looks really good. So yeah, and I think the red looks beautiful on her. So let's see them turn to the back, and then let's talk about Jessica. So Jessica, and this is, and I think she knows this. This is what everyone kind of talks about with Jessica. She has unbeatable stage presence. If you remember me in the Olympia video, her stage presence is beginning to end excellent. So when you step on stage, before you even take your first step on the stage, when you are on the stairs about to go step on stage for the first time, how many times can I say step on stage? If the judges can see you, which they can when you're in that spot, you're being judged. Like, you need to have your vibe going immediately. Once you're able to see the judges, they can see you. So you need to have that beginning to end. And one thing I pointed out in the Olympia video is when Jessica was exiting the stage, it was just so fluid and poised, because as she walks off, she goes through the curtain and just goes, boop, and then goes through the curtain. It was mesmerizing to see. There was no like, okay, I'm at the curtain, time to open it. It was just part of her routine, as if she rehearsed going through the curtain to leave the stage. It was so good. I was obsessed. So yeah, that's my take there. And let's talk about Miriam on the side too. I know I said we would talk about them turning to the back, but let's talk about Miriam first. Beautiful physique. What I would change is I think she would get I think she might need more quad. Honestly, it's hard to say, but she has a lot of fullness up top, but her leg is not looking as full as the rest of her physique up here. So something I would adjust is bending this knee a little bit to straighten the leg. And that's something that we saw Jennifer Dory do between 2022 and 2023. I look her up all the time so I can just see who won the Olympia at this point. So that's something she did. See how she straightens her leg so that it minimizes this space here, giving less negative space and showing more balance between top to bottom compared to 2022 when she did not do that and her knee looked a little bit more hyperextended. So that's something that she changed on purpose, I assume, to get better balance between top and bottom, and minimizing this negative space gives a lot more balance to the physique as a whole. So that is something that I think Alice could benefit from that too. It's not really hurting her. That's not going to be the deciding factor, I think, in Alice today. But I think it's something that she could also benefit from. Because you see her leg is a little hyperextended right there too. But yeah, so I think she could benefit from that, and then maybe we would get more fullness to the leg. But we'll just see. I think the reason she's being moved out compared to these other people is she's a little bit tighter than them. So we're seeing a lot of detail in this shoulder here, even on the stream, and a deep cut. And Vania has a cut to the shoulder too. You can definitely see the capping, but it doesn't look as shrink wrapped to the skin as Miriam's does here. But Miriam looks gorgeous. I don't know what the highest she's ever placed is. I would have to check. But yeah. And then here on the end, I think she's still getting into her pose because her shoulders are not really level and they had just moved her out. So I think she's still getting into her pose, but she has really great balance top to bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if she came in 5th and Miriam came in 6th, if we're going based off of these being the top 6 people. So that's my take there. And her muscularity looks very balanced from top to bottom. She has a little bit more detail on the leg. And not that they're looking for detail on the leg, but when I say that, I'm just pointing out the fact that she looks like she has equally as much muscle around the entire physique, compared to Miriam here, who looks to be a little imbalanced on the bottom half compared to the upper half. So let's see them turn to the back. Jessica, as usual, just slaying. So good. Okay, that right there. So this is, I think, one of the separating factors between Alice and Vania. So let's watch that again. Can I put it in a slower playback speed? Yes! Okay. Now we're in business. Watch Alice's glutes as she turns to the back. You'll start to see some striations in the glutes compared to Vania's. So let's watch. Ooh. The build-up. Okay, did you see that little bit of detail? And now keep watching, see those striations. When I pause it, you can't see them. But notice Vania, no striations. She has that little cut to her glute, but she's not getting the striation that Alice was getting. So I think that's going to be something that the judges consider. Sandy is judging this show. She's the one speaking into the mic, so she's judging the show. She's the head judge. So yeah, I think Vania has this show because she has the amount of fullness and pop to her physique that she needs, and that's coming from the muscularity that she carries. Alice, I think she'll need to build those glutes a little bit more so she doesn't have to get quite as lean in the future to show the same amount of definition that say Vania does. And here's what I'm talking about with the downlighting. See how deep these ties look and the shadowing. So that's what I was talking about with the lighting. And then, so let's talk about back poses. So again, Vania, super balanced from top to bottom. Her bubbliness is the same top to bottom. Alice, a little bit tighter. She's a little bit tighter than Vania, and I pretty much already said that. So I think you get what I'm saying, and I really think that deciding one of the things that sticks out to me is just those striations as she moves. And maybe it doesn't look like that in person. And then with Jessica Wilson, how she could place higher, I believe, is developing this glute med, so this upper outer glute right here. And then she would really start to have that balance that they're looking for in bikini. Because see here how it just slopes off compared to Vania, it really pops out. Reijuana, it really pops out. So yeah, that's my take on Jessica. I really want to see Reijuana get her qualification by the end of the year so she can have a long time off. The longer time off you have between now and the Olympia, or the longer time you have before the Olympia, the better, because you can really let your body rest and you can really put on any size that the judges tell you you need, or you have a lot of time to work on what they say you need to do. So yeah, that's what I think. And Reijuana, just great balance top to bottom. This person on the end, great pop. Miriam also has great pop, but you see she just kind of slopes off on this, not even slopes off, she has the shape, but it's just flatter than this other girl on the end. And notice a common theme in at least these 4 is that the glutes really project out. Jessica, while she doesn't have that same amount of pop on the upper outer glute, her stage presence is really, really tight. So I think that's why she would edge out this person on the end. And she has everything else. It's really just like the upper outer glute. And then let's see, is there anything else we want to say here? Not really. And then when they walk, you have the same thing. You can see the striations right there on Alice that you do not see on Vania. And what are they looking for when you do your walk to the back? They are trying to make sure your glutes don't slope off. So if you have incredibly developed glutes, then they won't flatten on the upper outer edge as you walk. Alice's are doing it a little bit, but she's so good in every other way that I don't think it would put her into 3rd place today. But I mean, it could. If everything is really close at finals and someone comes back that much better, they might judge again. But usually prejudging is where it ends for bikini. Men's open is, I believe the only one that they judge in morning and night. But let's just watch them walk to the back so you can see what I'm saying with what they're looking for. So, slow-mo. Vania's glutes are staying round, and Reijuana's really stay round and pop the whole time. So, if they put her in that second place, I wouldn't be surprised. It would make sense. Why might she not be? I don't know. I maybe see how Alice's glutes are. Now I'm just trying to make an argument. See, Bikini, when you're at this level, you can kind of make an argument for multiple people to get a certain place. Alice's glutes look very imbalanced with the rest of her legs. Her glute is not overpowering to her legs, and her legs aren't overpowering to her glute. It kind of just streamlines very smoothly into the leg. Whereas Reijuana, maybe they would say her quads are popping out a little bit, and but I really don't think so. I don't know. Alice has a very tight waist. Maybe it's that she has such a tight waist. So let's put it in regular speed again. And again, I'm sure things look different in real life. So sometimes it will just come down to someone's waist. Alice's waist looks super tight. Reijuana's waist is tight too, but I would say Alice's is a little bit tighter. So that really accentuates the hourglass shape when your waist is cinched in like that. And then we won't go over the second call out just because I don't know the people very well to give you a good take on them. So let's go back to the final four call out. There's the final four call out. So I think Reijuana, just based on the stream, looks a little bit softer in the waist today than she has in the past. So they move her out. And then Alice is in the center again. Yeah, I would say Alice's stage presence is just hard to overlook. So yeah, that's my take. I think it'll be Vania, Alice, Reijuana, Jessica, and then that girl that was all the way on the right, and then Miriam for the top 6. And then